kid in a school, in that Ramadin sitting in Bihar, connects with Mr. ABC in Brazil or Egypt, and he's doing a research on. So what happened in Egypt? How did it overnight? The government changed so softly, so without violence. It was after India's independence that most no violence took place there, right? Relatively speaking, and the government changed. Isn't it a good, curious thing to do, right? So there are a lot of things that are happening, and so what we provide there is a project environment where kids do projects. There is also a competition space, so we run an international competition, which is global, where children are challenged to solve real problems using technology, which is ThinkQuest. So you could be on ThinkQuest projects. You could also use digital media, or you could use application development. There are 3 typical tracks, and you can solve problems. And while I'm talking to you, I'm so glad to sort of report that this year competition, we just announced the results on 22nd of June, 8 teams from India have won, out of a total of 27 global teams. And I'm so delighted, because 8 years ago, there was not a single team there, right? And now there are 8 teams, and these are all Kendriya Vidyalaya kids. They are kids who are coming from Patiala, they are coming from different places. 2 years ago, a team from Nagaland had won the 2nd prize. And Nagaland, where Dimapur, a place called Dimapur, which I had never even visited, because everybody said, don't go to Nagaland, they'll shoot you, or they'll eat you, right? And after they won, I said, let's go there, and let's see what's going on. And I was delighted, because it's so beautiful, right? And I hope that the internet access and at a policy level is making, and making the internet available itself is a huge jump. It will, with what Mr. Jha was talking about, or with the gentleman talking about, or what others have been saying, internet club with a cleverly thought, simple thing, not too complex, not too tech heavy, not solving your problem, but it's about thinking. It's not about our content alone. It's about child's thinking. It's about their skills. It's not about our content. And that, I think, is a very fundamental thing I want to leave behind, because a lot of times our thinking gets kind of colored, because we get totally lost in, what should be the content? Content is what you create. You create the content, and that thinking is an ability that we need to build in our children. One of my colleagues who finished BTech Computer Engineering, did her MBA in USA, has recently came back from USA and joined us, was sharing her experience while she was doing an MBA. She said, I scored like a 4 on 4 and maths and this and that, but when it came to organizational behavior and writing things on marketing, where I had to think for 8 hours before I wrote for 10 minutes, I could not do it, because no one taught me how to think and solve a problem. We just don't allow that to happen in the school system, because we say, ye kar lo, itna kar lo, isme tumhare 90% aa jayega. Now you got 100%, how are you going to admit, man? Right? Everybody is pulling their hair, right? Where is the 100% going to lead you, man? Where will you go from here? That madness has to stop. And I think that, I'm glad that there are some steps being taken at the government level, and I think there is a great, good thinking, despite all the frustration that you face, sir. I think I'm still very, very optimistic about governments and the good thinking that's going on. Hopefully they will see the light of the day one day. There is also a library which they can access. It's a free library. It gets about 2-3 million hits. And we spend a lot of time and effort and money and making investments in professional development of teachers. So teachers can actually log on, and we take them through. Teachers need, it's not about internet. It's about what you do with it, and how do you integrate that into a day-to-day curriculum. So it's not about using ThinkQuest. Do use ThinkQuest. You got enrolled. You got your username, password. You got a secure environment. What do I do with it? How do I create a project? Where do I start from? So those kind of questions. So we train thousands of teachers on, to develop professionally. So we take them through professional development courses. First one is a 2-day course. Then they go back. Then they start projects in the school system with their own kids. And then based on what kind of progress they make, we pick some of them. And then they take them to the advanced level of training, which is 6 weeks of virtual training, 4 days of in-class training, where after which they go back and implement a 3-month work plan in their respective schools. So to that extent, we handhold, but we leave them free. We don't bother too much in terms of telling them what to do next. We don't tell you how to do physics, how to do chemistry, how to do maths. You do it. You figure it out. But what we do enable is that we enable your environment where you can connect physics teachers with lots of physics teachers. You can create an international maths Olympiad. You can participate with National Geographic as a partner, and you can do research on ocean. We are doing some work. This year is the International Year of Chemistry, and we started some work on Year of Chemistry. So we are going to get a lot of chemistry experts to come and talk, and we're recording those modules. Children can come in for real-time interaction, post which they can also pose questions to these scientists. And related to whatever, so it's whether it's atoms and molecules. In the past, we've done a lot of work with, for example, ISRO and on future space scientists. And Chandrayaan was seen by the winners of these competitions and local contests before Chandrayaan was launched. And they got to go to Sriharikota and see the launch pad. So the point I'm trying to make is it's a hybrid balance of traditional teaching with technology that makes a sensible choice for most things. I will just now quickly run through this so that you are a little bit more. So in ThinkQuest projects, personal web pages, you get a project space, you get messaging functions, you get very simple tools, very, very simple tools, right? And there is a global network of schools. We are in 60 countries, right? And you can connect with schools, teacher to teacher assisted. You can have, I mentioned about ocean now. We are also working some work, we're beginning some work on water as an issue, and where kids will go and sample potability of water around the country and check out whether that's kind of, we're talking to some of the Department of Science and Technology and see whether they're willing to do some of that. It's available in English, 11 languages, including Hindi. Having said that, that's only the visual phase. You can create a content, the children and the teachers can create content in any language that they want in Hindi. Well, they want to do Tamil or Telugu or Marathi or Gujarati, they can use, it's all enabled, right? Those are some of the pages you can see. You can have, it supports multiple file types to create various kind of projects. You can share it with a global audience. So for example, you can create a project with your classroom with 10 kids. You can create a project across multiple classrooms with 20 kids. You can create a global project. You want to call schools from different countries to come and participate and join you, you can do that. Choice of that is in your hands, right? And if some of you are interested in seeing how does whole thing work, we are going to have a booth tomorrow, right? So there will be kids, the real kids and real teachers who will be there at the booth. You can come and see that, and none of the marketing guys will be there, so you can go and check that out, right? So it's password protected, teacher monitored, and there is no advertising as a policy. It is not, and it's free. ThinkQuest is provided free of cost. We don't advertise. It's not a revenue model. It's part of our corporate citizenship, and we don't charge anything. So it's completely free. And even the training that we conduct, once we engage into, we have a model that works. So we work with, let's say, Kendriya Vidyalayas, Navodaya Vidyalayas, Government of Pondicherry, the DAV system, the Ryan Group of schools, and so on and so forth. We have several partners on both ends of the spectrum. Kasturba Gandhi Balika Vidyalayas in UP, in Hathras, in Basti, in Gonda, etc. So we are also working with people at that level. But there are different models you need to work, right? In terms of you need to create different models for different kind of audiences based on resources available. I already spoke about ThinkQuest International Competition 2011. The 2012 competition will start in sometime in September. Be on the lookout. You can go and you can get really inspire kids. It's not about winning, it's about participation. Once kids participate, they get about 6 months time to do a project, to solve a real problem, to create a project. And that itself can be a huge experience. But those who win it, make a trip to San Francisco for a ThinkQuest live event, get 5 days all trips paid by Oracle Foundation. They get to spend 5 days there. It's totally mentored by, they get mentored by Silicon Valley experts, and it's a life-changing experience. And they get Apple Macs and stuff like that, so they get lots of prizes. So those are the 3 tracks that you will see. ThinkQuest projects, digital media, application development in international competition, and it's about solving real. You will define the problem as well. We will not define it for you. You will define the problem. So you can define a problem as a problem in my school, this is how I solved it. Or this was a problem in my community, this is how I solved it. Or this was a national problem, here is a possible solution. Or this is a global problem, here are some challenges that we can do. So there are multiple things. So it's about thinking stating a problem and then solving it, right? So there are different categories of age, etc. So they can do that, and you just need to make teams of 1 to 6 and one adult coach. So coaches are teachers. So you need to go. So coaches also get to go to USA, and they also get to go through the professional development there. This is and this is all about some of the quotes people have been talking about. I already spoke about this. This is what we do about professional development. And thinkers around the world, we are all over. So we are in South Africa, and you can see diversity and collaboration there. Different models in different Americas, Asia, in Indonesia is doing very well, Malaysia is doing very well, Pakistan is developing. Kids in Pakistan and India talk to each other, and they work on projects. Now that brings more peace, I think, than anything else that you can do, right? China, so you want to learn. I heard that Chinese is not a part of CBSE. Somebody was mentioning, right? There are sort of things that you can also learn Chinese, and you want to learn Chinese, you can connect with the kids. They want to learn English, right? So just collaborate with the schools and talk to each other. And when they start doing that, you can upload multimedia tools, you can upload voice files, you can upload video files, you can upload, if you say this in Chinese, what does it mean, and all that. So you can, those are possibilities. There have been instances where I know of girls who've learned German, and they've taught English or Hindi to their other students in the other side of the country. So, there are these are some of the things that we're doing all over Peru, Turkey, China. So to summarize and to close, it's free, protected, online for K-12 schools. School is a unit we recognize. We invest in professional development of teachers. We make it very fun and engaging because kids love it. And I was in Bombay last week and witnessed the winning team. One of the first prize winners are from a Kendriya Vidyalaya in Navy, INS Hamla, right? And I went there, and these kids the way they're walking and talking itself has changed. They're like the heroes of the school, right? And they made a beautiful presentation, and you should see that. You'll get to see that. It's all visible on the ThinkQuest website. That's it. Oops, sorry. It's very easy to apply, so anybody can apply and any school can apply. So a teacher becomes an administrator. Principal signs the online agreement. It's all an online process. There is no paper. We validate every school so that we don't want to run people in distant places to make a business out of it, and therefore run it on a chargeable basis. So we validate every school. We validate every person who is applying. We call them. We check out, we validate that this person is a genuine teacher, right? And we don't, ThinkQuest environment is extremely safe to the extent that only those, even from Oracle's perspective, only those who are on foundation can access it. It's not that it's available to any employee of the organization now, it's not. And everybody who is accessing it, his background is totally verified, all right? So thank you for listening in. Sorry for overshooting if I did, but I hope you enjoyed. Thanks.